University, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Nitzan Aharon.
What's good, Baseline family? We're back. It's the 44th straight weekly episode. Jonathan Rears here in studio with Nitzan Aharon and Lior Berman. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. So we're the Baseline podcast. You know, we do a lot of interviews with players, coaches, and owners overseas, especially in Israel. Every single player has their own unique story from where they come from to going and playing on all around the world, China, Malaysia, and then ending up in Israel. And we're just doing it every week. We're getting really interesting stories, and we're excited to have you.
I'm excited for it.
Real quick, we want to start off by just introducing kind of your career path. You started off at Mountain Brook High School. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Go Spartans. There we go. Then you went on to Auburn, some high-level D1 basketball there. Signed your first pro contract with Ashkelon, and then you just recently signed with Maccabi Rishon in the top league.
Got it all.
Good, killing it.
There you go. So we usually like to go in a linear sense, so we're going to go all the way back to when you were a kid. When did that first love for basketball really spark for you?
Yeah, really as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember growing up, watching my dad in men's league and just really watching that. And I was thinking at that age, that's what I want to do. Asking the men's league, can I play? And I'm probably 6 or something. So yeah, just getting a love for the game early on kind of has carried me through here.
You start playing AAU. When did your competitive basketball career start?
Yeah. So always loved basketball. Playing AAU, I wasn't crazy into the AAU, but just doing that in the summer. But yeah, I always had the love for it. So I would say until I got to high school is when I really was this is something that I really want to do, and that's when I really started buying into it. But growing up, it was more just like a love thing, just having fun playing the game.
Were you playing other sports as well growing up?
Yeah, I played. Apart from basketball, soccer, football, and then from soccer I went to lacrosse. So I played a lot of lacrosse, and I liked that a lot too.
What made you go and kind of commit to basketball instead of lacrosse? Yeah,
so it was a tough choice, but the way things are now, it's almost you have to pick one.
Yeah,
kind of. But at the end of the day, basketball was my first love, so it wasn't a super tough choice.
Being from Birmingham, Alabama, right? Jewish kid coming up. What was that like in school?
Yeah, so I was lucky. I had a little community where I'm from, Birmingham, Alabama. Growing up Jewish there. But I'm really just thankful for my parents because, they instilled at an early age, making me go to temple and just instilling, being proud to be Jewish. So I'm thankful for that. And, they kind of taught me that it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you know who you are and your faith, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, growing up, I had a few Jewish friends, which I was thankful for, but I'd meet people and they'd never met a Jewish person in their life. So it's dang, it's a lot of pressure. You got to make a good impression.
You decided to go to Mountain Brook High School, right? So what was the decision to go there And, you were bouncy from a young age. You were getting up there. So I'm sure a lot of high schools were kind of approaching you, right? And what kind of made that decision to go there?
Yeah, so, I had a great time at, Mountain Brook playing basketball. I had a, great coach, Bucky McMillan. Is now at Texas A&M, so excited for him. But yeah, just learning from him was great. But really, in high school coming out, I didn't have many offers. I had maybe a D2 offer, maybe a 1D1 offer. So it wasn't much coming out. But I knew I wanted to continue it. So yeah, just kind of being the underdog.
We know early on, we talked to JJ about being Jewish in Alabama, and then also you said you had some friends and everything like that. Being kind of the individual, the token Jew and everything, did that also bleed into being on the basketball team, being kind of the token Jew, or was it?
It was kind of funny, there was always, for a while, there was a streak of at least one Jewish person on the basketball team in Mountain Brook.
A little tradition.
Yeah, and we all wore the number 32. So I don't know, Sandy Koufax, something. I don't know why, but I continued that, and it was cool, being, the only Jewish person on the team, and just representing something.
Nice. So then, continuing on from high school, going into college, you said you had like D2 looks, so you got preferred walk-on to Auburn. Can you walk us through the decision on why you wanted to take that opportunity instead of maybe a scholarship somewhere else?
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going to go for a while. I was trying to figure out all summer if I wanted to, take D2 offer or wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. But I just remember, growing up, I liked Coach Pearl a lot and the way he played. And me and my family, we took a visit up there. And, we sat in the office with him and he was talking to us with the whole coaching staff. And we probably sat in that office for like an hour and a half. And from the minute I got in there, I was like, this is where I want to go. Like, I believe in myself. And it was an easy choice.
And you went on to Auburn, and remind me what you majored in?
Industrial design.
Industrial design, right? And when we talked about it before, you said it was kind of like a full-time job as well, because you were also building your own projects and doing stuff like that. But you're also on a top-ranked SEC team at the same time. So what was it like balancing those two lives?
Yeah, it was a tough balance, because industrial design, it's not like you're working much on the computer. I mean, you are, but you're really making things with your hands. Right. And so, like, if you're on a away trip, you can't bring, like, a X-Acto knife on a plane. So, that was a tough balance, but I'm kind of thankful for it because it really taught me how to manage my time, get your work done. And then just balancing the two was a challenge at first, but I feel like I really figured it out over the years and feel like it'll help me now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And going back to high school 1 minute, you played in the Maccabi games in high school.
Yes.
Right? So how was that experience like coming to Israel? Maybe it was your first time coming?
I'd been a few times, but it was like the first time I'd been there when I was like not a kid. Yeah. So, it was cool just being around all these Jewish athletes. It was like, it was amazing, and I still talk to all those guys, and a few of them are here, and I hope some more eventually come over here and kind of have a reunion.
Was that one of the moments where you said, I can take this a little farther, when you made the Maccabi team in high school?
Yeah, no, just being over here and the environment here, and just that kind of like made me want to play over here even more. Kind of like confirmed it, like this is something that I think I can do and I want to do, and it's kind of been a goal of mine ever since. So I'm glad I'm here now.
So then also, going on to back to being preferred walk-on at Auburn, can you walk us through a little bit of what the difference is of the process of being preferred walk-on versus scholarship?
Yeah, I remember when I first came in there, Coach Pearl was like, it doesn't matter if you're a walk-on, preferred walk-on, scholarship, whatever, the best players are going to play regardless. So I just remember that, and I kind of kept that in the back of my head, just keep working, keep staying right and ready. Because, first 2 years I wasn't really playing, but I was learning a lot. So, as a walk-on, you're playing on the scout team, so you're getting to be the other players on the other team, which is nice sometimes, because if you're like a scorer, then that's what you need to do in practice.
Chuck, yeah.
So yeah, just balancing that and just knowing your time's going to come and believing in yourself. I think it helped me in the long run for sure. So I wouldn't have traded it.
And you say you learn a lot. You're playing with guys like Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler, so like you're picking up things at the same time.
Yeah. And
you're playing a lot in practice. Like you said, you got to be the main guy on the scout team.
Yeah.
Right. So when you do eventually get on the court, how did those times kind of like come into play when you're on the court?
Yeah, I would just say like having the confidence, like if you can guard these guys, you can guard anyone. So I think like what competition you're at, like you can adapt to that. And if you're guarding the best players, like in practice and things like that, it's gonna get you better at like a higher rate than if not. So just having the confidence, I think, is the main thing, and having the confidence that you've put in the work and it'll just pay off and just relax a little.
It's a big thing to like play to your competition.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're around like great players, you're gonna elevate yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna push you, and all those guys have amazing work ethics,
right?
And it's like it's amazing to see.
And you see it now. Jabari Smith and Walker are playing really well in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think it was your second or your third year in the summer, Auburn with Bruce Pearl and Athletes for Israel. Y'all came to Israel, and y'all played like an Israel select team, and you played also the national team, I think, with Denny and Yam.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like? I know that there was a lot of Christians on your team as well. So what was the experience like for your teammates coming in?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, a lot of those guys, I mean, obviously I was the only one who had been to Israel. So a lot of them had no idea what to expect. So, you know, them just coming over here and getting to see them, you know, see Israel for the first time was really cool. Like, you know, just being at the Dead Sea, everyone's got the mud on them. It was awesome, you know, because they just didn't know, like, before they were like, you know, what does Israel have? They literally thought, like, it's just sand or something like that. So, you know, I thought it was really special, you know, having them come over here and getting to see Israel for what it really is. And, yeah, it was really cool experience.
And you played, there were some guys like Jared Harper, Austin Wiley, Denver Jones. These guys are playing pro here now.
Yeah.
Right? And they come here and they're big names in the league now. So do you think that had an effect on them coming to play here professionally?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I mean, it's just seeing those guys being able to, you know, play over here, and yeah, it's just really cool. I think there's like 5 guys from Auburn over here, which is like amazing. Bryce Brown, he was here, but he left.
Right.
That'd be like 6.
He's tough.
Yeah. He's a
good.
baller. But yeah, I think it's really cool that we got so many guys for Auburn over here.
Also, not just that, but Bruce Pearl's outspokenly, you know, very connected to Israel. And so how's that did that affect you at all in terms of he's so outspokenly wanting to come here, wanting to bring his team here. Did that affect you as the Jewish guy on the team? You know?
Yeah, you know, that was a really cool experience in college, you know, having him as my coach. You know, he's not afraid to say what he believes in, and, you know, I learned a lot from that. You know, I've always been proud to be Jewish, but just the way he does it, you know, you can really advocate for it and, you know, say what you believe. So, yeah, just having that experience in college was really cool. And now that he's not coaching anymore, I mean, he's going to be even more, which is going to be excited to see.
I wanted to ask you about that. Bruce's son is taking over the head coaching job. He was also on the staff when you were there as a player. So what did you kind of notice from him on the bench as well, and what was your relationship like with his son?
Yeah, Coach Steve's great. You know, I feel like he's going to step in and you know, just pick up right where they left off. You know, he's just as intense, and he really knows what he's talking about. But yeah, it's cool to see how you know, he's now the head coach, and but yeah, you know, there's an amazing staff there, and I'm excited to see, you know, how it's gonna go. But yeah, Coach Steve, he's awesome. He's a great dude, and yeah, I'm excited for him.
While you were at Auburn as well, when we're on the topic of staff, you had Jeff Gray also on the bench as an assistant.
Yeah, that's
now
my guy.
He just signed with the Charlotte Hornets to be a video coordinator, which is great for him. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So before he was at Auburn, he played professional here in Israel. So while you're at Auburn, you know, it's probably in your mind a little bit like, what am I going to do in the future?
Yeah.
Are you talking with Jeff at all about his time in Israel?
Yeah, we're super close. But yeah, just at college, he was, you know, starting to talk to me a little about the, you know, like playing in Israel and how it was. And so that was pretty cool. And yeah, he's a hard worker, you know, continuing his career, and now with the Hornets. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm happy for him. But yeah, he's my guy.
Throwing it back a little bit, back to the beginning of your Auburn days, you know, you said you took a couple years of not playing to then eventually become a rotation player. You see nowadays, especially in the NIL landscape, people play against their competition in practice, say, I can do that, and they transfer. So kind of what kept you over at Auburn? What kept you saying that this is where I want to be and I want to carve out a role here?
Yeah, it's a little different nowadays. You know, it's like 1 year here, 1 year there. But, you know, I take pride, you know, staying at Auburn for 5 years. Yeah, you know, just believing in yourself, you know, buying in and trusting the process. And also just Auburn is just, I couldn't imagine leaving there. Like, it's a great place, great people, the fans, there's nothing like it.
You said it's like also off the court that kept you there, not just on it. So how much of a play did having such a high level Division I program come into play? Because also there is so much of saying I want to go play mid-major. You know, was it also the fact that it's a Division I high level program that you said this is my place no matter what?
Yeah, you know that, and you know, just playing at the highest level, the SEC. You know, it's just it's hard to beat, and getting to contribute to the team and in that conference. I would not have want to have left.
Yeah.
And you're a big Auburn guy, and it goes even to taking time out of your day to practice playing the guitar to do the national anthem for the baseball game. What was that like, taking some time and then going and doing that? I know you had some nervous goosebumps.
Yeah, for the anthem, that was crazy. So, I ended up getting hurt, my last season. So, I'm kind of in the dumps. And, but yeah, our social media guy, Stephen Leonard, came to me. He's like, I got this idea. Like, you want to play the national anthem for the baseball game? And I was kind of like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for sure. And then it's like 3 weeks before, I'm like, wow, I'm really doing this. I was like practicing all day. But yeah, that was a special experience. I was definitely nervous, but once I got it plugged in, played the first note, it was good.
So you're hurt at the end of your career at Auburn, unfortunately, and you still, I'm sure, we're going to games, practices, and you're on the sidelines, and you're picking up things and you're learning things because, like you said, Auburn SEC, it's a really high-level basketball. So you are taking things from the game, even watching from the sidelines, but now you got to focus on your career. So when do you start looking at agents, and when do you start kind of thinking about, okay, now I'm going to go to Israel and I'm going to play. I'm hurt, so it's going to be a little harder now. And did you ever kind of have a fall off where you're like, do I want to do this? Maybe I'm going to go into the industrial design career and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny, during the season, it was a great season, and but I was looking forward to getting to relax a little in the summer, and then start my journey in Israel. And then as soon as I get hurt, I'm on the ground. I'm like, well, there goes the summer. But I never was like, I'm done. I was like, it's just work. You can get through it. It's just a test. Because there were some nights where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come back or this and that, but. I'm thankful for my agent, Ronnie Levy, who just kept believing in me and was like, just take a day at a time. And, he was living in Israel, so he was able to meet with these teams, and he just put me in a great situation for my first season where, I was able to come in still hurt and, continue the rehab over here and then eventually get started, which was amazing.
Right, and you had Division I teams offer you and look at you to come in for your first year, but you ultimately decided to go the Division II route and kind of get your legs under you for the first year. So why did you do that, and how did that come into effect now in realization?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a process getting back, and the game's just it's different here. It's different here than America college basketball for sure. So just being able to go, second division and eventually, return to play and learning the game here, getting to play a lot and just getting, the feel of the game back was the main reason why I chose to go that route. And I'm glad I did because, I couldn't have asked for a better season and was just thankful to be able to keep playing basketball.
And you're also in one of the closest cities to Gaza.
Yeah.
Post-war, coming from Auburn, completely different side of the world, but you were cool with it. You decided to do it, and you never backed down. What kind of motivated you to do that?
Yeah, I always wanted to come to Israel, and it was, during those times it was like a decision, but I wasn't ever really like, I don't think I want to come. I always wanted to come, but it was crazy. I was like, showing some people, they're like, where are you going in Israel? And I would show them the map, like right here. They're like, you sure you want to go there? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. But, I love Israel. And, even though I'm not from here, I feel like it's home. Just having all these Jewish people around me is just amazing. Coming from Alabama, it's now I'm here and it's, I feel like I belong.
Going back to the injury real quick. You had obviously pro offers while you were injured. How validating was that to say, I have such a body of work already behind me that I can go somewhere that can help facilitate and rehabilitate where I want to get to?
Yeah, I was thankful for that. And, just knowing that, I had some options, gave me a little motivation, a little extra motivation during the rehab because ACL rehab is long.
Yeah.
It's like a full 9-12 month thing, sometimes even longer. So yeah, just knowing that, you know, I had some place where I could get to just kept me motivated and wanting to keep improving.
Was there a moment kind of in that process? I mean, we talked about you're here rehabilitating off of, as you said, a terrible injury.
Yeah.
And then also the war going on, where you said that this is your home, this is where you really feel like you found your people, but doubt can creep into anyone's mind. You know, was there a moment where you said, I think this might be a different path I need to go down, or was it always an unwavering kind of?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you know, my goal was, you know, to return to basketball is, you know, what I wanted to do. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, you know, it's a long process, you know. You start questioning, you know, am I going to be able to return? Am I going to be able to slide my feet side to side anymore? And I love dunking. That's like my favorite thing to do. I was so scared that like my jumps were going to like disappear forever. So like I feel like I'm just starting to get them back pretty good. But no, I was always wanting to come back, and yeah.
Talking about dunking, slam dunk contest in high school. You got to talk about it.
Well, yeah, City of Palms slam dunk contest. Someone was like, "You want to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll do it." Thinking that, you know, I'm a high jumper, and I see the guys I'm going against, and it's doing like through the legs from like the free throw line. I'm like, "Oh, I got to go after this." I got one or few good ones down, so
for sure.
It was experience.
It was like Cole Anthony, right?
Yeah, Cole Anthony, a few other guys who were just high flyers, but
For sure.
that was fun.
And then you also had a really great, funny teammate, Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah.
What can you say about Dylan? And like, I know he enjoyed his time here in Israel when they came out. So
Yeah.
what was it like being on his team?
Yeah, Dylan's great. He's a great friend, great teammate, and he's just a character. There's no one like Dylan. You know, he's strong in his faith. He's a great guy on and off the court, and super excited for him. I don't know if you saw, but he just posterized someone, and yeah, you guys got to watch it. But yeah, just seeing how hard he's worked and how much he's improved from his time at Auburn to now where he is now is just amazing.
No, for sure. And you guys had a really close, tight-knit team. And saying even after coming to Israel, I'm sure there was other teammates who were still with Auburn post October 7th. So October 7th happens, and you being a Jew and Bruce Pearl being a huge advocate for it, you know, and the whole world kind of turns away. In the locker room, was there things being said? Did you guys take like moments of silence, stuff like that? And like, how did they kind of make you feel good at the end of it?
You know, Coach Pearl talked about us. You know, he's great at, you know, communicating with us. But yeah, we really just talked about it, and you know, he explained what was happening, and you know, since a few guys had been to Israel, you know, they kind of understood. But it was still hard to like, you know, see the effects of it over there. It wasn't until I like really got here, and you know, I'm in Ashkelon, so I'm having Shabbat dinners with like families who are really affected by it. So it's almost like I have a greater understanding now, and so yeah, like whenever I go back, like I explain like, you know, what happened and like how these families were affected.
Do your teammates ever ask you questions and try to have these conversations with you? Or is it more of just your team talks about it and then it's kind of let to the side a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I feel like now that I've been here, I have a better understanding, so I'm like better prepared when I go back. But yeah, you know, people are curious about what's going on here, and so yeah, I try to, you know, give them my view of it and my opinion.
You should get Walker and Jabari to come out here.
Oh yeah, I want them to come so bad. Yeah, hopefully they'll get out here soon one time, and I can really show them around now that I've been living here, because I know they'd love it.
Going from Ashkelon, which is, you know, like we said, close to that area, and it's far from the center, now moving and signing with Rishon. What was this past summer like? Who were you working out with? Kind of how were you getting prepared for the season? And you ended up signing with Rishon. What sparked that decision?
Yeah, so, you know, I was thankful to have Auburn in the summer because I was in Alabama, and, you know, Auburn's like a family. I was able to, you know, spend my whole time up there really just training, getting ready to make the jump to the first league. And we actually played Rishon last season in the playoffs. And, you know, just seeing that environment that they play in. And so, yeah, it was intriguing to want to come to Rishon.
And then in Auburn, you got the nickname the Bermanator. I hear like the announcer saying it all the time. When did that like happen, and how'd you get that nickname?
Yeah, my good friend Jeff Shearer at Auburn. He was the first one to, I think, say it, and then I heard it a few times, and the next thing I know, it like stuck, and like every once in a while, someone will still call me it, and but I think it's great.
Yeah, I heard him like every time you hit a three, he's like the Bermanator.
Yeah, the memes and everything after the games, like I had like an edit with me as like the Terminator with the Bermanator.
I'd repost that immediately if that was me.
Yeah. I think I got a post on my Instagram where I'm like edited as a Terminator.
Yeah, I saw like your arm or something like that.
Yeah, but, it's great.
As we kind of wrap up, what's some kind of like advice that you would give to a younger Jewish American guy coming up, maybe out of college and wanting to start his pro career?
Yeah, keep going. It's a long process. There's ups and downs with anything in life. But if you can, kind of see the end goal and you have something, it's easy to stay motivated. But yeah, just, be proud of your faith during it. I think that's a big thing. Being proud to be Jewish, especially, times like this, is real important. But yeah, just keep going. Keep going.
And what have you really loved about being in Israel the past couple of years?
So many things. The people, the food. It's just, it's great. My favorite things like Shabbat dinner. Like you can meet someone and know them for 2 days, and they'll invite you over for Shabbat dinner, and you'll go there and you'll get like some of the best food you've ever had. It's like nothing better than that.
Ever have some Moroccan fish?
Moroccan fish. I don't even want to say these names. I'm gonna butcher them. Mafroom.
Oh yeah.
Madbuka, something like that.
It's good. We got good food out here.
If you had to, for all your teammates that you want to come over here, if you had to say this is the food you got to try, which one is it?
Gotta take them to a shawarma place.
Shawarma place?
I think that's just important.
Just get a shawarma. But as we wrap up every episode, we do the shot clock rapid fire. So we'll put up like a 24-second shot clock, and we'll do bang bang questions. You could say pass if you don't want to answer on one of them, and then we'll wrap it up.
Who's going
Let's
first?
do it.
All right, you ready? I'm going to go first.
All right, yalla.
All right, yalla. There you go. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. LeBron or MJ?
MJ.
Funniest teammate?
KD Johnson for sure.
Favorite Hebrew word?
Yalla. It's not even Hebrew. Yalla.
Favorite Israeli food?
Shawarma.
Favorite shoes to hoop in?
Pass.
Dunk or three-pointer?
Dunk.
Favorite basketball movie?
Pass.
If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
Probably either playing music or industrial design.
Nice.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for coming, Lior. This is really fun.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate what y'all are doing, and had a great time.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.